Welcome, everybody, to the Fellowship at Home. I'm Bishop Greg Davis, and welcome as you're coming in. Please do me a favor, invite and share. Welcome. This is the Full Gospel Fellowship at Home as we prepare for our Conference 31, as we take it back home to New Orleans, Louisiana. As you're coming in, if you would let us know um, who you are as you're coming in. Hey, Pastor Corey, Apostle Haywood Hamilton, welcome, sir. We're glad to have you. My brother from Delaware and Pennsylvania, welcome to our live. We want to thank God for our international presiding bishop, Bishop Joseph Warren Walker III, and First Lady, Dr. Stephanie. And we wish them, I think it's 15, happy 15th anniversary today in real time. It is their 15th wedding anniversary. I saw that on social media, and we say congratulations to the both of them. And of course, the man and woman that help us get started, the man and woman of God help get us help start get it got us started. Our founders, Bishop Paul Sylvester Morton and um, Pastor Deborah Morton, our founders, and to all of our leaders. Thank God for you tonight. As you're coming in, if you would let us know where you are coming in from, tell us your name, your region, maybe your regional bishop, your state bishop, whatever you want to share tonight. We're talking to our ministry leaders or auxiliary leaders as we get ready for New Orleans, Louisiana, July 9th through the 11th, July 9th through the 11th in New Orleans, Louisiana. And let me say this, if you have not gotten your hotel room, you better hurry up and get it. And I'm not just saying that. We are, uh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, we're about 80% full though. Um, a hotel. So if you're waiting, you know, and you registered and you ain't got your hotel room, you may not be staying with the family. You may be staying with another family. But go ahead and the information is there. We're posting information um, to our our page right there, Full Gospel. If you have not registered, you missed out on a great sale because Monday night we had a flat registration flash sale. It was $89, but good news, it did not go up for 119. So if you have not registered, you could hit the link and register tonight. I need a few more y'all to share. I need Hey, Bishop Elect T. Delbert Robinson. Good evening to you. Hello, Daphne. Welcome from New Orleans. Welcome. Bishop elect T. Delbert is for our General Assembly. Who else is out there? Are you out there? It's a bunch of y'all on there. Oh, okay. Let me see. Carolyn Kidd, Overseer Carolyn Kidd, Mississippi. All right, we're going to introduce our guests. Again, this is the Fellowship at Home. This is our ministries, and they have great agendas planned, and we're going to talk about it. And representing our men, Bishop Pickett is with us, representing our women, Overseer Cezar, our youth, Overseer Jamerson, and we say congratulations to him. Again, if y'all don't know it, uh, you need to tell somebody he is now a proud senior pastor. We're going to talk more about that. He started off on the drums. Drums, right? Yeah, it was drums. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And look at God now. I know Bishop Floyd is smiling down from heaven and so proud of you. And then, of course, representing our music ministry, um, Elder Vernon, Byrd, and then Pastor Freddie Washington, who also uh, grew up as an assistant, a musician to a great man of God that I preached for many times. I know Tuscaloosa very well. And he served with Bishop Palmer. And I try to always remember those that have went on to be with the Lord, and we stand on the foundation of them and Bishop Freddie Washington, now pastors, uh, Cornerstone, Full Gospel Baptist Church. All right, y'all. And so I want each of you to share a little bit about your area that you want the people to know about. And we're going to let ladies go first. Um,
Oh,
I want you to share Daughters of the Promise, just, what all those components are, because there's a lot of components to Daughters of the Promise. And just take a few minutes and share about the Daughters of the Promise.
okay. Well, internationally, what we're going to do is our theme this year is Next is
Now, I
Now.
don't want you to talk about the conference yet. Let's just talk about
Okay.
what the Daughters of the Promise do. Period.
Okay.
Who are the Daughters of the Promise?
Overall, okay. Overall, Daughters of the Promise. We really have tried to connect with women from all ages, from all places, and most of our ministries actually entail different leaders from all over the 8 regions that we actually have. Our next upcoming event actually is Boss Chick, and it's for entrepreneurs who are social media minded and all of those things. You want to get paid? Listen, we're going to talk about how you can do that and how you can move in that vein. We also have prayer ministry. We have every different type, single moms, bishops and pastors' wives. Um, it's just a roundabout ministry. What we try to do is to build out so that they would want to connect with the Daughters of the Promise, and actually looking forward to envision what they want in a ministry. We meet regularly with our state and our district leaders, as well as our regional leaders, to really try to determine what it is we need for women. So that's really, in a nutshell, what Daughters of the Promise is about.
All right, thank you. And we're going to come back around and ask exactly what we're doing during the conference. So, Bishop Pickett, the men, give us an overview of the men's ministry of Full Gospel.
Well, our men's ministry is taking an approach that we're going to build, from the ground up. So we're working from the ground up as we're building. So what we've been doing is weekly, I meet with a group of men that I'm training and developing, preparing to be the lead other men. So we've done thus far, we've been training those men, I guess, for the past year or so. But also, I've been in a couple of places where I've actually gone to those different places, different states, and met with a group of men that are part of the group that's going to really be responsible for building this, what we call a critical mass. Because ultimately, what we want to do is build a critical mass instead of something that just, hold a conference where we have a lot of guys show up, but there's no follow up. So the key for us is building a strong foundation that we're able to build strong and step by step. That's where we are right now.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And then, of course, our youth, Overseer Jamerson.
Bishop, what we are always endeavoring to do with our children and youth division, where we are responsible from those ages 5 to 17, is to always be able to promote the Titus 2 mindset within our local churches, so that our churches begin to continue to wrap around our young people, so that this is not just a conference experience, but a year-round experience in the local churches, at the district, the state, and the local, and the regional level, so that our district directors, our state directors, our regional youth directors are doing things that are cohesive with a multi-generational mindset. So we are just excited about continuing to be able to do that, re-galvanizing, even reappointing individuals where people have transitioned, and just making sure that we have a fellowship and not just a conference gathering. So that is our desire with our young people, for them to know that they're valued, for them to know that we see them and that we hear them, so that we can provide things that they need, not just in the church, but in the school and in the community as well.
Thank you, sir. Um, and we're going to let you all know, if you all do me a favor, if you would share, those of you that are coming in on Facebook, and if you have questions for the different leaders tonight, you can interact with us. Our music ministry, coming from Pastor Washington and Elder Byrd. Both of you, either one of you, share the overview. Praise team, Supermass Choir, all that you all do.
Well, I can start. Of course, Overseer Freddie Washington. I serve as the second assistant to our Bishop of Worship, Bishop William Murphy III, with our Ministry of Worship for our fellowship. I also am the overseer of minstrels, which pretty much means I deal with all aspects of our minstrels, our musicians who are on the instruments during our conferences on international level and regionally with the Southern region. And even down, of course, to our local church here in Tuscaloosa. But we serve in that capacity as a way to continue to help create a place of synergy and unity for the body of Christ through the arm of worship within the ministry of worship with Full Gospel. It has been my privilege and my honor to serve in that capacity, and we're even now preparing ourselves to prepare the next generation for much of our founder's administration. He talked about changing a generation. Well, I was a part of that change, and now we're pouring into the next that are coming behind us, who are walking with us to help increase and promote the sound of Full Gospel throughout the body of Christ. And I'm pleased and am honored to have served in this capacity and continue to do so to help take Full Gospel to the next level.
You want to add to that, Vernon?
Pastor Freddie said it all, but I just want to say ditto to what he said. We're really excited that we on a consistent basis get to pour into all areas of worship, the singers, the dancers, the directors, the musicians. And, you know, we'll talk about it in a moment, but this year will be absolutely no different. So we're excited about it.
So let me ask you all this, because we're definitely in the midst of transition. You know, I was joking earlier. But it's really not a joke. There's a lot of new leaders that I don't know, and I've been here from day one. We've grown that much, and we're now, what are we on? Third generation, maybe. Overseer Jamerson, probably third. Yeah, because you would know, because you've seen them. Yeah, third, fourth generation. How do you all, with the vision of our presiding bishop, in your areas, still make those that have been here with you, allow them to still be relevant, and then still build your department with the younger generation? Because I think overall in the whole fellowship we're seeing that. But I want to ask that, and everybody don't have to answer. Whoever feels, just jump in. How do you do that? Not make maybe someone who's been on the praise team or in the music ministry or an older musician feel, or a man or a woman, or somebody that's been working with the children. And I know it's how you put that in there. I'm not going to just say youth, children and youth. How do you mesh everybody? Whoever wants to go.
Yeah, I think I can speak first. I think it's just understanding that we need everybody. Mm-hmm. And as we're planning for us, as we're planning our services, we're planning services that speak to everybody, every seat, generationally, culturally, so on and so forth. So even you'll see, you know, every service, our founder, he's already set it as a precedent. We're going to sing a hymn because there's going to be a generation of people who relate to that. So then there's some folks who've been walking with us for 30 years. That's the moment, or one of the moments, not the only moment, but one of the moments where we showcase and appreciate and highlight those voices. You'll see even still now with our choir, Billy Rivers, who's been with us from the beginning, is still now standing in front of us. We need both strength and wisdom, right? It's often says that the younger generation has the strength to kind of move it forward, but we cannot do that without the wisdom of those who've gone before us. So we still need Billy Rivers. We still need Sister Jackie Mayfield, one of the pillars, of course, of our worship ministry. And I think in our planning, we don't plan. We're moving ahead. We're thinking forward, but we're not planning out those who's brought up into this point. We're including them in that planning, including them in the plan, and making sure that we're still able to minister with and minister to.
And that's the key. That is the Titus 2 blueprint, right? For the most part, it's multi-generational. We are to be that. And the only way it seems, and I believe it's this, generations fall out of conversation because they've fallen out of fellowship, or they fall out of fellowship because they've fallen out of conversation. And what you have in what Elder Byrd just said is exactly what continues to happen. So you asked that question, Bishop. I have charged the International Youth Council to replace themselves. Okay, by the end of this year, everyone will have identified their potential successor that will be walking with them. We don't have to worry about when the succession actually takes place, but that means when it's ready and it's time to take place, there will be a person there to continue to move forward, right? So we have to continue to remember that if we become a fellowship with no active youth, young people, children, youth, young adults, then we actually become a dead fellowship and we just practice in our eulogy. Okay, so we're not there and we're not gonna let it happen. You understand what I'm saying? But we have to make sure we continue to keep not just the youthful feel, but to be intentional about this pipeline, if you will, of service. The fellowship has been a place of service the entire time. All of us have. Elder Vernon was at one point what we coined a full gospel kid. He was, so we have proof that what we operate in and what we flow in, the anointing from our founder to our current presider and those in strategic places, it works. And we simply follow it and be intentional about putting quality people in that space. Elder Byrd and Overseer Washington are pouring into the children and youth band. The individuals that are there, they're serving in both spaces. They're singing on the main platform and they're leading our young people in worship. We are creating this cohesive flow that as long as we mind what it is, God will continue to give us grace and continue to give us expansion for years to come, I believe.
Absolutely.
And Bishop, also, it's crucial that we integrate them in every facet. So in all of our different ministries that we push forward through the Daughters of the Promise, we have young people, middle age, and older women. And what's amazing is the older people want to be actively involved and they want to make sure that they're heard. They don't want to get left behind. And so in order to do that, you have to integrate everyone all at the same time and listen to the voices. It's important to listen to what they're saying that they need. And then we have so much talent that we can actually do that. God has given us an opportunity to provide ministry, to develop as well as to build and integrate at the same time.
I think I'm a
Yeah,
modern
Bishop.
example of that, in that I walked with Bishop Palmer, my predecessor, for almost 20 plus years. As a part of the fellowship, grew up literally in the fellowship, and took the mantle from him when he transitioned out of pastoral leadership, and I stepped into that particular place almost 9 years ago. So I think I'm a modern day example of how that happens, because I was able to be indoctrinated, if you will, assimilated into full gospel culture because I was a part of that with him. Wherever he went, my name was, I'm with him. Literally, wherever he went, I was with him. So everything he did, I was able to witness, I was able to glean from. And when I stepped into that place of pastoral leadership, I simply am a 2.0 version, but God has a plan and destiny for my life as well. And I merged the two, and we're taking full gospel, fellowship flavor, what we do in this area to another level, another dimension, because I got it from him. I engulfed myself in it, and now I'm passing it on to a generation that's coming behind me. I was told once to have 3 types of people in my life: a Paul, a Barnabas, and a Timothy. Paul that I can glean from, receive from, be mentored by; a Barnabas, somebody that I can be accountable to as an equal; and then a Timothy, somebody that I can pour into that's coming behind me. So I've taken that mantra and I'm using it even to this day, to have those 3 types of people in my administration, in my life personally, and a part of ministry to help continue to build on what has been started many years ago.
Bishop Pickett.
No, I was only going to say it. I wish I had the problem that they have. because we don't have that problem. That literally there was one male regional leader that was appointed by the Southern Atlanta region, the only region really that had any active male participation going on. So, you know, finding that and even getting regional bishops appointed, even state bishops, I'm sorry, state leaders for men, even district leaders for men has been a monumental task. And boy, it's been a tough one, but we're gonna get there just by building the base. So I don't know what happened, where the ball was dropped, what really took place, but you know, trying to build that up from scratch really is almost like starting over.
Yeah. Well, you the man for it. Most definitely. You the man.
I believe it.
So let me, how do we, what's different? Anybody can talk to this for your department, something fresh and innovative. I want to start with the children and you that hasn't been happening in the past. What innovative, something innovative that you've implemented?
Well, I wanna give credit to the past because I won't say it didn't happen. I think in some transitions there were some things that were maybe lost in the shuffle. Okay, so it was always important for us to have balance, to show young people and show parent body churches, right, lead pastors and youth pastors that there can be balance. That it's important to. So last year we did a sneaker ball, and it was bananas, right? And what we also were able to do was do things like Wild and Out episodes, full gospel edition, right? We've been able to do things like that, but we've also been able to incorporate new things, you know, whether it's rap, whether it's dance, whether it's the newest thing that we just launched is a poetry contest. And we're in partnership with a group that was seen on America's Got Talent, the Poet Life. So it's going to be just some amazing, phenomenal things that we're tapping into because we're trying to not just attract young people to church, but to really pull young people back into the church. So you can attract them with gimmicks and games, but then there's no substance. And too often, graham crackers and orange juice and crayons is what children's church get, and then they get a little bit of Jesus sprinkled in. But then we had to be mindful to understand that the gospel still works with young people. You just had to be intentional. So creative with ministry, creative with sermon series, creative with the stories, like the stories of the Bible captivate kids. You'd be surprised to the panel, some of the people and the places that I've been over the past 5 or 6 years that the young people simply don't know the Bible stories anymore. And starting there allows you to pull them in and how the Bible stories can relate to their lives. So the innovation really has been revisiting the gospel in its purest form, and then giving them balance and letting them know that you can still have fun, but Jesus has to remain the reason, and the gospel has to remain the foundation that we build everything upon, and not let them waver in that, because too many things in society are being acceptable or being painted as accepted. But we have to make sure that Jesus is the standard and the gospel is the method that we hold up to that standard. So the innovation comes in that as we try to continue to do the things as we should do. Our theme is Generation Next. The fellowship's parent body is Next is Now. So if we Generation Next and it's Next is Now, then we're now, right? So we're Generation Now in essence, but we have to help them see that in the things that we do.
Anybody else want to speak to the innovation part?
Yes. One of the things in the women's ministry is social media, as well as, I don't know if everybody else has it, but we have a website, we have a social media page, and what we found is that allows us to be more interactive continually with the women, because one of the things is women's ministries are doing things all over the United States, but so many times, I guess like what Bishop Pickett said, a lot of the time it gets lost because people are not aware of it. So through social media and interactive web pages, we're able to share information and literally build a network. We literally have a network that we communicate with monthly through newsletters that they connect with, that we send out to them because they've connected through so many of our ministry events that we've done throughout the year. One of the things that I'm extremely excited about was our money, how it works. That came through actually a survey, because on our website, we're able to do surveys. And one of the things that the one young woman said was, you know, Full Gospel talks about so many different things, but they don't necessarily talk about money and how to get there. A lot of people don't come to the conference because they don't have the money, so then they don't know how to plan in order to get there and how to save. So we just completed our first event with money, how it works. And it was amazing because it taught that you can't continue to say, I can't tithe and expect to get where you're going. You know, what we do is we use excuses for not giving back to God, and we can teach them how to give. So that's one of the things is, you know, just being innovative through web pages, social media, as well as ministry, because whether we realize it, just like we're on Zoom tonight, we're able to do things through Zoom, whether it's once a month to connect with people, however it works, that we can build ministry that way and allow people to know how important they are to us and that we need them.
Yeah, I know
And Bishop, you know,
go ahead.
on our end, for men, you know, we gotta let men be men, right? I mean, and the ball game is just different. And what I'm finding is relationship for these men. That's what they're looking for. They want relationship. The number of men that I've encountered that have never sat down with a father to speak into their life is amazing. I'm blown away by it. But when you talk about men and in church and dealing with men, you know, we got to deal with them in a way that men can connect with. And I'm not talking about those of us that are bishops, those of us that are pastors. We're talking about lay men, right? Who need to be touched like men. Who Overseer Harris made me get my dog out the shop. Men like dogs, right? So I had to shoot my dog away, and that's all right. But you know, men are just different. And if we're gonna reach men in our churches, biblical discipleship and walking with guys and teaching other guys how to walk with guys, it doesn't get old. And I'm finding men that just don't know how to do that. So we're gonna change that. That's our innovation. I guess it's not innovative though.
Well, innovation looks different for different people. I mean, your dog is your innovation.
Overseer made me tell my dog to go sit down. I had to go. I'm sorry, Chris. Overseer, I had to put you out there.
So I want to say this though, really, for hats off to DOP. We posted you all today, and we had to do a carousel because it was so much information for people to grasp. You all are doing a whole lot, and I think that's what gets people overseer to our conference. They see what's going on within the ministry, and then they want to come and see it on a bigger level. So hats off to everybody. Let's get to the conference. I want to start with our music ministry, and you all could go back and forth with the two of you, Overseer Byrd and Overseer Pastor Washington. If you all could talk about the track of music from classes to rehearsals to what y'all need. You know, this is the town hall, which y'all went. I mean, everything that anybody might be interested that's even watching, they need to know what's going on with all things music, choir, praise team. If I'm a musician, what do I come to? I may be my church's musician. Everything that has to do with music, it's y'all time.
Go ahead, Overseer. I yield it to you, then I'll follow the rear.
Listen, we are tremendously excited about this year's conference gathering together, the week of July 9th through the 11th. One of the things that I'm excited about this year is that we are literally going to facilitate all of our ministry of worship moments in-house. We don't have any guest artists coming this year. We are our guest artists this year. We have been so blessed to have ministry gifts who are making an impact throughout the body of Christ musically, who are part of Full Gospel, who are birthed in Full Gospel, and we're going to minister within the ranks of our fellowship this year. So having said that, our Bishop of Worship's mantra in this season is not that we're not just getting the work done, but we want to engage as many people as possible to help us get the work done. So that means you, whether you serve in the choir, if you are a musician, if you are a dancer, if you're somebody that's well abreast in the area of administration, we need all of you. Praise team members, wherever you serve in your local church in either of these areas, we want you to be a part of this year's conference experience, not just an attendee, but we need you to participate in all of these areas of ministry functionality for this year's conference in New Orleans, Louisiana. We have ministry of worship classes that will be offered on Tuesday and Wednesday morning of the conference. Our Bishop of Worship will be teaching. Our tier leaders of all those areas that I've mentioned will be also teaching. And listen, I believe it's one of the most informative and inspirational times throughout the conference in our School of Ministry. No shade to anybody else, but the Ministry of Worship classes are second to none with the impartation that we receive daily. And I want you to be a part of that as well. We're going to minister in our services nightly with our Supermass choir. We're looking for 500 to 1,000 choir members to help come and release the sound of Full Gospel in our night sessions. Our daytime sessions, we're going to be blessed through Ministry of Music. You got to be a part of it. We already having moments where we are sending out information and having conversations and dialogue to help rally the troops, to help build momentum. And we need you to be a part of that. If you missed our pop-up worship experience this past Monday in New Orleans, you missed an opportunity, to hit the ground running with us as a part of this year's conference experience. But don't fear, you have another opportunity to be a part of that this coming July 9th through the 11th. Overseer Byrd is coming to give even more information that I may have missed, but I'm looking to see you all there with us.
Yeah, I just want to follow up there, Overseer, and say just a word really to pastors and senior leaders. And so many times in the hallways at our conferences, come across pastors and they're like, man, I wish I had this sound in my church. Man, I wish my worship leader, had this revelation. And our response is always, you got to bring them where the water's troubled. You got to bring them into this fire. You got to bring them into this environment. It's something that happens when you enter into this space. Some things can be taught, but much of this has to be caught. And I believe that this atmosphere, this environment is right for worship leaders, for singers and musicians to catch what's happening in our international meetings so that they can bring that fire back to their local churches. Just a moment ago, Bishop Davis, you asked what we wearing. I'm wearing right now some of our FG merch, some of our One Sound FG merch, this brand new hot off the press. There's a way for you to find out all of what we're wearing, all of what we're singing, all information pertinent to the ministry of worship. If you would text, I'm going to say it a few times, somebody put it in the chat on Facebook and YouTube, text connect, the word connect, to the number 504-788-1063. If you text connect to 504-788-1063, you'll get a text back and you'll begin to get all of our text blasts, all of our updates for the ministry of worship. So you let you know what we wearing every day and every night and all of our services, we'll be singing. But more important, more than anything, you got to bring your choir members, your worship leaders especially, bring them to the conference. I remember, it was part of the culture over the years that pastors would bring their musicians and bring their worship leaders and bring their choir directors so that they can receive this direct impartation. It's one thing for you to be able to talk about what you've experienced and try to bring it back, but it's another thing for them to be able to live it, experience it, and bring that fire that eventually be contagious. One thing to catch fire once the choir director get it, once the worship leader gets it, then the worship team gets it, then the choir gets it. And next thing you know, your church is on fire and y'all are able to worship God in the same way, in the same manner that we love to experience at our international meeting. So again, connect to 504-788-1063. You'll get all information.
Right. You can't sit there. Yeah, as the pastor, you can't sit there and come back and say, I want you to do what that young man Vernon was. I want you to do what that musician.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. They have to be there, because then you come back as the pastor and you be on fire, and then you wonder why the praise team, the musicians, it is an investment. Back in the day, Bishop Pickett, remember, he was National Baptist, I'm sure. You took everybody to the Congress and they came back and they knew exactly what you was talking about. So you
put
want
your choir on a bus and bring them to New Orleans.
right. If you want your men changed, bring the men. You want your women changed, bring the women. You want your children and young adult, even leaders, to come in and sit in and watch what's going on, to take it back. Don't just drop the kids off. Come in so you can establish your department. Same thing with the music ministry, women and all. All right.
Here's the truth, Bishop.
Go ahead.
I say this and we can move on
Go
from
ahead.
it. I got it because I caught it right here at this conference. Filled with the Holy Ghost, 13 years old, right there in that children and youth division. Everything, all of the impartation of grace from our Bishop of Worship, so on and so forth, right here, because I was present and yielded myself to that pour. So yeah, you got to be here.
You know,
Your own success.
Overseer Christopher, he helps produce and he writes a lot of the questions for me. And one of the questions I'm gonna answer this myself, and I don't usually do this, but his question is, and somebody can add to it, what do you say to a small church whose finances and resources are tight? How can they come to the conference? Let me give you an answer. You do it the old-fashioned way. You fundraise. You fundraise. You got to do what you got to do. You fundraise for everything else. This can change the whole trajectory of your church. You do like the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts and all, get them cookies and all that. We forgot we didn't get so bullshit.
Bishop, if I could just tack on to that.
He in Detroit.
Go ahead.
Hold on. He in Detroit, and you know Dartanyan. Here in Detroit, you can pick any corner and people are barbecuing. They ain't barbecuing for the church. You ask who they barbecue for themselves. They making a living. And even in the cold, because we barbecue year round in the cold. If you want to get somewhere, I bet you get to the party. You get to the lounge, you find a way. Okay, I wanted to answer this because I used to be a pastor of a small church, and I know we raise money. All right, so
well, Bishop, look, but it don't have to necessarily be a small church.
In the room.
It don't have to be a small church. It could be a youth ministry who typically don't get a budget every year. But do you know, and I know General Overseer of DOP, they've been talking about how money works. But listen, when you get to the conference, Vernon talked about things you have to catch, right? In our youth pastor, our youth leaders class, we talk about how you can prepare to get them there. And I'm going to drop this nugget for everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody will catch the replay. Do you know if you fill a 2-liter empty pop bottle with dimes, it's $750? Okay, I'll let that sit for a second. Okay, and do you know that places of sports events and other things where they throw the beer bottles out or they throw other things out, in some states they have places where you can turn those in and get those, and you can collect the money. Now, granted, that's not glamorous. That takes work. But guess what? If you really want to invest, you can't complain there ain't no budget if you're not willing to raise one. So there has to be both and. So I just wanted to jump in on that because those are simple things. And when you're talking 4 people to a room and everybody raised $750, everybody gonna eat and sleep good and be there all week.
Yeah.
All right.
And we would get 4 in a room, and literally I would choose to fast so I could buy books. right? I mean, it got to get back down to a want to. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
nobody, it ain't about big or little. All us fighting the financial fight, right? So people want to come. We gotta push it. It gotta be important.
Yeah. I remember when I used to go to the gospel music workshop years ago because I was a choir director. Don't laugh at me, Vernon, with my Jerry curl. I used to be the janitor at my grandfather's church, and I'd ask for my pay in advance for 6 months. I remember going to California when I was a young man. California, y'all, with $150. And let me tell you, the Lord made a way. I came back with money because people would say, come eat. You know, they would have different luncheons and all that kind of stuff. God will bless your want to if you
He will
just want
bless
to.
your want to.
If you just want to. You gotta want to. All right. Let's hear from DOP.
Okay, like I
What
said,
y'all doing? What y'all doing the 9th through the 11th? What y'all doing?
listen, next is now. We doing God's Girl Reimagine. You know, people have so many ideas about what women's ministry ought to be. Well, we want to show you what it really is and what it can be. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up actually Monday evening with a reveal, welcoming our new bishops' wives and our new bishop, female bishop. We're going to do a reveal. We want to show the bishops' wives actually and encourage them to be a part of this new ministry that they're coming into. And that's by invitation only. So if you're a bishop's wife and have not registered for the event, all you got to do is just go there and do it. We have the information available. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, what we're actually doing is we're doing DOP t-shirts, and they are actually on sale right now. And you can go to www.fgbcfwomen.org and order your t-shirt. We can mail it to you or you can pick it up on site. We have an online store that's available for you, but we want you to feel like we want you there because we do want you there. In our sessions on Tuesday, actually, we split our session time and we're going to have activities actually within our session. Since we're not going to have an additional time available, we don't have that space available this year, we're going to do our stuff in-house. So our instructor for our first portion of our class on Tuesday is single or married, don't get lost in the mix. And our instructor for that particular hour is Pastor Bianca Richardson. It's talking about balance in ministry and maintaining you at the same time. And the second half of that is love doesn't hurt, you win. The instructor for that event is Lady Latoya Randall. And we're going to deal with some issues, some domestic violence, some physical and verbal abuse. We believe in paying attention to what's really going on, what's going on behind the scenes. Day 2 of our session, actually, we're wearing pink and purple. I mean, pink and pearls. That's what we're going to wear for that particular event, because you know that afternoon during midday, we're having our women's session. But in that particular class time, we're doing collaborate, mind, body, soul, and hormones. This is for real. This happens. I don't care what age you are, it can happen at any time. Our instructor is Overseer Tanisha Craig. You know, she is thebomb.com. She's going to combine working your health along with your emotions and show us how to get a control on that. And then our second half on that Wednesday is leading while broken with our instructor, Bishop Lisa Wea. We're going to talk about mental health and mental wellness so that those who are challenged with many different issues in life, they can learn to deal with them and grow to offer a better you. Our midday session, of course, Dr. Linda Willis from New Life, Memphis, Texas, is actually sharing. But during that time, we're going to share who our scholarship winners are for the Deborah B. Morton Scholarship Awards. So if you haven't had an opportunity, if you are a woman that's returning back over the age of 30, or you're still yet in college right now, we have scholarships that are available. And all you have to do is to go to our site and you can register and complete that application. And then on Thursday, of course, it's a consecration. So we're going to be dressed in black. So we're going to do t-shirts on Tuesday, pink and pearls on Wednesday, and on Thursday, we're going to dress in black. That's what we're doing.
You heard that, Overseer Vernon? She said what they wearing. And some people think that that's funny that I asked that, but people may be watching and they need to know this. We get an agenda every year what the bishops wear. This year, I don't like it because we got to bring the robes. But anyway, that's my person. All right. All right. Who did I leave? Who's next?
The men.
Men. All right. Overseer Pickett. Bishop Pickett.
Back on.
Hey, hey, yeah. So for men, we're building relationships, man. We're looking for a few good men. We're asking regions, states, churches to send a man. We need a few good men that we can sit with, build relationships. We're spending time together, both in session, outside of session. We're doing things that men enjoy and men like to do. We're putting men in smaller groups with other men to really sit down and really lay out some foundational things so that we can really go back into our churches, our states, our regions, and really build a strong men's ministry.
All right. Are you all meeting during the conference?
Last I heard, we are.
Okay.
We are planning to meet. Yes, sir, we are.
Okay. You don't know exactly what day?
I do not.
Okay. All right. We will put it on social media. Listen, everybody that's watching, I need y'all to do me a favor. I have to speak about my area. If you're not following us on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, I need you to go there right now, especially Instagram, because we are rebuilding. We are rebuilding our Instagram page because it was taken during the pandemic. So if you're not following Overseer Vernon, I haven't seen you like anything and put fire in nothing. I need y'all, yeah, even during the time. Yeah. Anyway, I need y'all to go and
say less.
and then I need our department heads. I need y'all to interact with the pages, and especially when we post y'all, and make sure your people are doing, like, trust me when I tell you, the children and youth, they make sure they get everything. They want to collaborate.
That's what it was, Bishop. I didn't see you post me, so I didn't.
We posted the see. This is how you know you're not following it. You're not. You know why? Because we just posted y'all from Monday night.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. We did a whole recap. Why did I just feel like we should sing "Brought Me Out of Darkness into the Marvelous Light"?
Look where he bought me from.
All right, y'all. Is that everybody? Did you do yours, Dartanyan?
No, sir. I'm ready to do it right now. So
I'm getting ready to be another year older, so y'all got.
That's okay. That's okay. Grace.
June
So
8th. Go ahead. You're a big pastor now. I expect the gift. Go ahead.
See,
go ahead.
The children and youth sub theme. Of course, we always do a sub theme, and our sub theme is "Our Time Is Now," and we will be focused on Romans 13, 11 through 14. I'm not going to break that down. We'll talk about it. But this year, we're excited because our presentation has been moved to Presiding Bishop's Night, which means we get 3 full daytime sessions with the young people. Vernon remembers we didn't get that. We got 2 and maybe a half a moment, but we get 3 full sessions, and it is amazing time. We cannot wait to do all of those great things with them. On Monday, here's how we dressing. Okay, here's how we dressing for the week. Monday will be our favorite Christian tee. Your favorite Christian t-shirt, that's what Tuesday. Tuesday's the first day of the week, first day of the conference. Tuesday will be favorite Christian tee. And then on Tuesday night is our all-white party / talent jam / open mic. Amen. So we cannot wait for that. And then on Wednesday, all day is twin day. So pick your bestie or do triplets if you want to. We want to see the best twin duo. Somebody's going to get a prize. There's going to be a couple people that get prizes on that Wednesday. And then on Thursday, choose your team. You can be Team Nike, Team Adidas, Team Jordan, or Team Puma. And we're going to see who wins. And maybe the winner gets a piece of party. And then Thursday night is our presentation and our gift presentation. We have a gift for our presiding bishop this year. We're not going to say what it is, but we have a gift we're going to present him that night. And the uniform for that night will be your favorite college gear, HBCU gear, or Greek gear. For you to wear. So we're excited about the things that are going to happen. And last but not least, I just want to plug this. The Full Gospel Baptist Church Children and Youth Division has launched our first poetry contest in partnership with the Poet Life. Okay. And if you want to enter, it is thepoetlife.com/full gospel. You can find it on all of our social medias. We're gonna select 7 people over the next 30 days who will be able to come live and do their thing in Full Gospel in New Orleans with us. And the winner, the all-purpose winner, is going to be a part of our presentation on Presiding Bishop's Night. So if you think you got it, we want to hear your bars. We want to hear what you got to say. We're excited about this, and we know that God is going to just really bless and give us grace in all the things that we're going to do over the course of that week. Notice I didn't mention worship, because our worship is always bananas. We always experience God in every children and youth session. Youth leaders, youth pastors, get your people there, because we're ready to receive them and we're ready to put some work in.
Good to see you, Bishop-elect Tracy Bowles. Thank you so much, everybody. And by the way, Bishop Pickett, can you get a pen right quick? Get a pen, get an ink pen. The men are meeting Tuesday and Wednesday from 8:30 to 10:30. 8:30
Okay.
Tuesday and Wednesday. I've been sent that by our administration, Bishop-elect Poole. Tuesday and
8:30
Thursday.
and what?
Tuesday and
what?
Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday, sir. 8:30 to 10:30.
Tell Bishop Poole I said thank you. Thank you, Bishop Poole.
We here to help. Really, the music just started, you know. All right, y'all. No, we are in it. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. I want to say this. Thank all of you that have been watching. Literally, this has been the best fellowship at home. We have 2 more next month. But when I tell you the numbers have been bonkers, the replays and rewatch. So even though some of you may say, you know what, but they come back and watch. So this information is helpful to those that are on ministries. And don't forget to follow all of our pages, especially our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you all. Thank you, Overseer Christopher. We thank our presiding bishop for allowing us to do this. And remember, y'all, whatever you do, register, all right, and live full. I'm Bishop Greg Davis. We out.